we get weird background noise, I will probably have other people, if you're not speaking, mute, but if we're all in quiet spots, it should be okay too.
Yeah.
But you guys, welcome. Thank you for being here tonight for our kind of, I don't even know what we ended up calling this, like night of inspiration or like women inspiring women, whatever it is. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of told people, I was like, this is almost just like a good distraction of to hear some uplifting stories, to hear something in a time that we know the world is a little bit crazy right now. And I'm sure you guys have felt lots of emotions and lots of different things kind of up and down and this and that. And I know I have felt that way. So we are really excited to be here tonight and just kind of share our hearts and share our stories with you guys. And you know what? If we're all home, we might as well be inspired together, right? So just thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. And we're going to kick this thing off. I just got to pull up my little notes here. So why we're here, all of us on this call who are co-leading this, we are all a part of a team called Hustle with Heart. And so we are all health coaches, and we all started for different reasons, and we're going to share those reasons of why we started coaching and how it's inspired us and how it's changed our lives. But what's cool about this is that we're all very different people, but this commonality of being a coach is what kind of strings us together despite how different we all are and all like the different reasons of why we decided to coach. And so we basically, you guys, help people live healthy lives through at-home health and fitness, nutrition. We have an awesome shake called Shakeology that we provide for our clients. And then we put everybody into online communities, which is very fitting. Like we just made the joke about the healthcare workers being like, we ride at dawn. Like all of us coaches were like, we got this. Like we know how to help people feel connected when we're not all in the same room. And so we are just, you guys, honestly, like if you're watching this live, or I know a lot of people are going to be watching this recording later on, like we just want you to know, like, we love to help people. Like I was reading my personal development before we got on this call to make sure my headspace was right. And we love serving people and giving them an awesome experience to be their healthiest self at home. So that's kind of what we do. And we all have our own experience of how we became a coach. And so that's what we're going to kind of kick off tonight with, is our own story of how we started coaching, why we said yes to it. Because here's something I want you guys to know is that you might be a little bit scared watching this. If you're on this live, you might have been like, holy moly, what am I listening to? Or if you're listening to this later on, I know I've gotten a lot of people before like, yeah, I had the link, but then I got scared, so I didn't watch it live and I wanted to watch it later. But I just said this to actually a couple of the coaches before we got on here, you guys, is the cool thing about fear and being scared of the unknown is that you can't be brave unless you're scared first, right? Like you can't have a moment of bravery or a moment of courage unless you're faced with something that freaks you out first. So if the idea of being a coach kind of scares you, know that we were scared when we started too. And sometimes we still get scared. Sometimes we still are apprehensive, and that's okay. And so I'll kick us off to kind of start with my story, and I'll just kind of ring us around the horn here because there's a few of us on here, and yeah, so I started coaching, you guys, 4.5 years ago. I am like the grandma of this group, even at 28 years old. But I've been a coach for roughly 4.5 years. It'll be 5 years in September. And for me, how this all started was I was a third grade teacher at the time. I was in my second year of teaching and I loved it. I loved my class. I was still figuring out like the whole deal and how being a teacher, right? Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was like completely winging it. And I was a big runner. So I was training for marathons and running all these races in Minneapolis and just loving it. And I came across a girl's Facebook post. And this girl was someone that I had gone to college with. She was a fitness instructor, and I had gone all her classes in college. Like I loved every single fitness class that she had. And she had posted this before and after photo, and she was posting about this Beachbody program. And I happened to have that Beachbody program sitting in a closet that untouched. I tried it one day and I was like, this is stupid. And I put it away. And the missing piece was I didn't have a coach. I put it away. I never opened it. And I jumped into one of these online groups, one of these online communities with my coach. I absolutely loved the community. I loved the results I was getting. I loved the program, the Shakeology, all of it. And shortly thereafter, she asked me to coach. And I decided to say yes. I think I took like a day to think about it. And I was like, screw it, let's do it. Jumped in, and you guys, it is easily the best decision I've ever made in my life. I have now been a full-time coach, meaning it is my job to mentor other coaches and help them help people and run challenge groups. And I get to do it from the comfort of my home. It was a hard decision, a scary decision to leave the classroom because it was all I'd ever thought that I wanted. But for me, coaching really opened the door that I could teach and serve in a different way, and surpass my teaching income through hard work and consistency. So I'm very grateful, especially in all the crazy shit going on right now. Like, my day is not too different. Like, I work from home most days anyway and get to connect with these people. And so I feel very blessed and very just so excited that you guys are here. So that's a little about how I became a coach. Let's go to Kelsey next and then Andrea.
All right. I was not expecting to go next. So I've been a coach actually for about a year now, but I didn't really take it seriously until about 6 months ago. I did the challenge groups and everything for about a year, and my coach reached out to me and she was like, you should be a coach. Like, you'd be so good at it. You're already doing all the things. And I was like, no, that's not for me. I'm not going to do it for probably about 3 or 4 months. And then I kind of just like kept seeing all these coaches and what they were doing. And I wanted more out of what I was doing. I was just doing the workouts and the shakes and all that, but I wanted more accountability and more people to like kind of share this new like love of health and fitness with. Because yeah, you're doing a lot of the workouts at home by yourself, but you have like a whole group of girls online to like reach out with and share what's going right and what's going wrong and all that. So yeah, I just wanted like more out of coaching. And so about 6 months ago, I was like, okay, I need to like actually take this seriously if I want something out of it. And kind of just jumped in and kept going.
And now she's ready to rock and roll. Kelsey is a little scared tonight. So even as a coach who's been around for a while, you guys, she's here. So Kelsey, I love it so much. Miss Andrea, how about you?
Hi guys, I'm Andrea. And yeah, it is always a little bit nerve-wracking when you're live and people are listening to you. Anyways, I've been a coach for like 15 months now. I'm very much like Kelsey. It's like the last 6-7 months that really started taking this seriously. But I'm a home healthcare nurse. I've been a nurse for four years. I grew up really athletic, being a multi-sport athlete and running. And it wasn't until like nursing school and my first job where I really started feeling the burden of responsibility in my field. And all that responsibility just really weighed. And so your health kind of has a way of getting put on the back burner, and running just didn't work for me anymore. And I wasn't seeing myself in this identity of being an athlete and seeing myself in the mirror, and my scrubs weren't fitting right and they were tight, and I'd pull them up higher so they wouldn't cut into my love handles. And it was just like, who am I? And I felt like a hypocrite in my own field, promoting exercise and eating right. And I'm like, I'm going to go crush a pizza when I get home. Like, what? And then go to bed. So there was this I finally started following Kate and getting really intrigued with these programs. And like, that looks, I don't know if that would work for me, but got into one of her groups. And you guys, it's just something clicked. And the community and accountability and learning things that I could apply in my work life, it's pretty profound. So coaching was the next step, like taking it seriously and holding myself even more accountable. Just took it to the next level. So if you're scared, that's good. So
yes, you guys, and Andrea has grown so much. Like, in the past 15 months? And also, like, everyone, like, round of applause for Andrea. We have a nurse, like, front lines right now. Like, stay healthy, girl. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do Emily and Brianne, and then Grace. Unless you have a child situation, Em.
I do. 1 second.
Okay, we'll go Brianne and then Grace.
Okay.
And then we'll do you last.
Yeah, so my coaching experience really started in December. But I was famous for ghosting Kate for a really long time before that. So I found Kate just through my Explore page because my husband is obsessed with French bulldogs, and her little fur baby is just the cutest Frenchie you ever did see. So I started following her. She talked all the time about her accountability groups. I finally messaged her and just said, like, I want to do that. That sounds fun. And she said, girl, like, that sounds great. This is what it is. And I just put my hands up and was like, I'm not going to do some sort of multi-level marketing. Like, no, I don't want to do that. So for a year, I just said, nope, not interested. Well, I tried tons of at-home workouts. Well, I tried to have a gym membership, which I think I had for 7 months, and I went 2 times because I just wanted the accountability piece and didn't really have anyone to do that with. And so finally, I don't remember what really triggered it. It was a hard fall. I'm a teacher, and I was just stressed. And one day I was just like, you know what? We're just going to try it out. So I signed up as a coach to get Bar Blend because I was super stoked about that idea. And then, I don't know, less than a week later, I text Kate and I said, okay, so how do I stop doing a customer thing and just be a coach instead? It's just been so much fun since then. And it's definitely a huge learning curve. I'm very much a baby coach and still learning a ton from it, and have like an every other day freak out on Kate of like, what am I doing? I don't know what's going on. But it's so fun. Like I'm enjoying the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to grow. And honestly, the community piece, like the women I've met who are on this call are just rock solid women. I love that I get to spend my days with them virtually, especially now when I'm not in school for 6 weeks. So
Crazy. You guys, Brianne is totally that person. Like, if you're watching this now and this was you, or if you're watching this later, like, she watched everything I did, liked every single post, always like would chat with me about like other things in Instagram DMs. And I always just like, oh my God, I need this girl to just say yes, because she'd be so good at coaching. Like,
Kate and I are actually the same person.
yes.
And there was a lot of talking to my husband, and I'm like, I think that I'm supposed to be friends with her, but like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be a coach, but we're for sure the same. So maybe I should just try it.
Exactly. Well, I love it. Well, that's the thing. It's like a good example. Like, we've kind of heard so far, and we'll still hear from Grace and Emily, but it's like, it's kind of one of those things, you guys, where it's like all of us, like I said, we started scared. Like, we started a little unsure, and we'll get into those in a minute, but it's like, you can watch or you can be a part of it too. You know what I mean? It's like, I think there's a big difference there where it's like, what's more fulfilling, to watch other people go for it or to just stay in curiosity by yourself at home? Like, especially now, we're all like, where are people? Okay, Miss Grace and then Emily, how did you come to coaching?
Okay, can you hear me? I
Yes.
switched okay, perfect. What I was trying to tell you earlier, Kate told me that I looked really nice. I shampooed my hair today. So.
Well, you look beautiful. Miss California.
So,
Yeah.
some context, I live in Southern California, and I moved here to be with my boyfriend right at a year ago. And when I moved, I like knew nobody here really. There was like a crazy limbo situation happening at work where I had like nothing to do. And my boyfriend, I call him the cruise director because he's so social. Like, we go to every happy hour that exists in this town. And happy hour beers are not 0 calories. And a combination of me feeling very isolated, not having anything to do at work. Like, I'm a high performer. I want to be doing stuff. I want to be excelling. Being bored is so frustrating to me. So a combination of like that boredom and hour beers. I was like, getting a little bite. I've been following a couple of different coaches actually on Instagram, and because I was like every time, which so it's not. I was like, we're gonna do it. A challenger for a couple of months, and of course, literally like a week later, Kate was in my inbox being like, "Dude, like you're literally doing everything that a coach does. You're just not reaping any of the benefits." And so I thought about it, and then like the next day, this is like my famous line is, I'm like, "Screw it, I'm in." And it's been so much fun. I officially said yes in December. So Brienne and Emily and I are all in kind of the same like class almost, if you think about it that way. But having this learning opportunity, and we'll like talk about later, like all of the extra bonus things that are cool about it, but getting to learn and grow, and also having this huge community of women. Like I was a camp kid, and then I was in a sorority. Like that's always been really important to me. And so getting to have that, especially during all of this manic panic, Lord knows, kind of leaning on all of that, the extra accountability, not only for like my health and fitness, but also for my goals and my like long-term vision and everything, has been a game changer. And my pants fit now, so that's also great.
That's the best. I can't wait till we can all be back in public and I can see Grace's Insta stories of her drinking a beer, and she's like, beer, bar salad. Like, she's the best at it. It's so funny. All right. We have Naomi also joining us, I see, which I love. Miss Emily, how did you come to coaching with your little cute baby?
She was not having bedtime, so here she is. Yeah, I started coaching in December, like Grace said. I accidentally liked one of Kate's posts, and back in like, I don't know, March of last year maybe, and at the time I was pregnant, so it wasn't, something I really wanted to get into, sorry. And so then in October I signed back up with Beachbody, and then I just decided to coach. It was something I just felt like the right fit. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3 girls, a set of twins who are 3.5, and then this little one. And I was just finding myself waking up thinking like, is this it? Like, I'm going to wipe butts and feed babies all day. I mean, it's great. I love them. And, but I just needed something more to pour my energy into and, pour my heart into. So, I said yes. My husband was like, hey, if you're going to, pay for your Shakeology, what can you lose? Give it a year and see how it goes, and then we'll see from there. So it's just made me a better rounded person. Reading personal development is something I've never done before until now, and it's just completely changed me and my attitude and how happy I am. So it's just been the best thing that I've done in a long time. So.
Oh, this makes me so happy. Rockstar mama 3. So I don't miss anyone knows. So you guys, as you can see, we kind of all had different backgrounds of what it was. And notice how none of us said, I was a fitness expert. I had a degree in marketing and social media. I was like an Instagram influencer with 47,000 followers. None of us had that. Like 3rd grade teacher, nurse, mom, like, it doesn't matter where you're starting. It doesn't matter your fitness point. It doesn't matter if you've never posted on social media. You guys, Andrea asked me how to use like Instagram. Like the first time she was like, how do I make a post? I was like, oh my, like it wasn't that, but it was like
your profile looks so nice.
Yeah, like you can learn anything. And honestly, you guys, to make a good coach, here's honestly the formula: coachable. So as a coach, you're going to get a coach who's going to mentor you. And a piece of being a part of this team is that I'll help mentor you. Like we're all in this together. Very High School Musical-esque, right? But you have to just be coachable, right? Because we're going to teach you how to rock your program, how to be consistent. You're going to do your own fitness program first. That's the first thing, your own Beachbody program. Follow the nutrition. No, you don't need to be perfect. No, you don't need to be at your goal weight. Every single one of us, you guys, have gotten healthier because we were coaching. Because I know the second that I signed up and I logged into my account and it now said coach, it was a different feeling of purposeful obligation to help people find the love in this that I did too. And so, and that we all had in this. So don't feel like you have to be perfect. So a good coach, they rock their own program and they're coachable. And honestly, you guys, they're just a part of the team. They do what their coach tells them to do. And what we're going to guide you to do as a coach, you guys, is to not feel weird about it. And here's what I want you to think about. If there's a restaurant you go to, or if there's a clothing store that you love, or there's, I don't know, like something that you love, you're going to go tell your friends and your family about it, right? Like think of those, like when new restaurants open up, like you go and you tell your family about it. Hey, go here. We had an awesome meal. Hey, there's a sale going on in Nordstrom right now, right? And that's the same thing with being a coach, is that when you start to see these results, like, and like we said, like the physical ones, like we've all lost weight, we've all like gotten more toned, whatever, like honestly, like just healthier overall, but it's the mindset piece. It's the being introduced to personal development, which we will completely change your life. So it's really cool and that's really awesome. And you might be thinking again, like, okay, great, but I'm busy, or great, but my sister-in-law is a fitness instructor and she's going to judge me if I do coaching. Or, well, Karen from high school is in a network marketing business and she's super annoying. Like you might be having those like apprehensions and those fears. And we want you guys to know that we also kind of had some of those like reservations before we started. So that's what we're going to share right now. And let's have, Andrea, do you want to kick us off? What was your biggest like apprehension or fear before you started coaching? What was your reason? Like, yeah, but, and I always say that like everyone will have like, yeah, that might be cool, but what was your but of why you were maybe afraid to do this?
Yeah, well, I'd say I had two, and the biggest one, I've always been afraid of what other people think. I get very consumed with people's perceptions. And so that was a big thing, like, you know, the whole MLM, what it, yeah, they're annoying and I'm not going to get caught up in that. But you get over that really fast because you realize how good this is and it's working, and it's not about other people. It's about you. And in the process, I just came to realize, you know, if I can inspire other people to like this as much as I love it, like that's a win. Because either way, I'm going forward. So if other people can get on board with me, that's a win.
Yeah.
But
it's like, don't live your life for other people's opinions. It's like, you know.
And I have a lot of that to attribute by doing more personal development, because that has been a huge shift for me. And where I've been able to step outside of my comfort zone. And I have to attribute that to coaching, because I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for coaching. So.
Totally. I think that's so relatable. I think a lot of us fear what other people might think. Let's go Grace and then Brian. What was your apprehension of why maybe you thought, I don't know if this is, I don't know, I want to, but I'm maybe scared?
So my big thing was that like I said, like I'm a high performer. I tend to be, not to sound like a jerk, but I tend to be pretty good at things that I like really care about and work really hard at them. And my biggest fear was that people weren't going to take me seriously. I think a lot of that stemmed from the fact that, so my lovely boyfriend, his name is Will, and Grace, it's the whole thing. He is in sales. He's in tech sales. And he would come home to me and he'd be like, dude, I just closed a deal and I'm going to make $11,000 off of it. And I'm sitting over here like, I'm really excited because I'm going to make $25 this month. And, you know, it's so much more than the financial piece, for sure. And like, I would do this for free. But that is, I mean, being super honest, like that's one of the kind of goals that I have are tied up in some financial freedom. And so a lot of it was me being apprehensive that these, way smaller goals or milestones that were nowhere near $11,000 were going to seem, just like dinky, truthfully. Like I'm sure there's a better word, but like that's what comes to mind. And so for me, it was, I wanted to do it, but it very quickly became, and still is to a degree for sure, about kind of proving the people wrong who thought like, oh, like that's, like Andrea was saying, like, oh, that's a dinky, like MLM, like, what are you even doing popping in my Instagram DMs with, hey girl, it was, now it's become a lot more about these really profound changes that I'm seeing in myself. And it's actually funny, I was talking to Will about it, doing this call today. And he was like, oh yeah, you're going to have so much to talk about. Like it's done so much for you. That's awesome. And actually, fun fact, my earnings this month will be higher than his. So.
Yeah, there you go. Grace, that's so funny. I love it. And such a different, just a different perspective of how different our personalities and what motivates us too. So I kind of love it. Okay, Brianne, how about you? And then we'll go Kelsey afterwards.
Yeah, so kind of similar of what some people have talked about. I had two big things. One was I just did not want to be annoying. Like, I don't want to, there's so many memes about like the girl from high school who's like popping in, and I did not want to be that girl. So I was just super hesitant about that piece. Like, how do I not be annoying? And I think that's the very first conversation Kate and I ever had when I said yes to coaching was, I don't want to be that girl. The second thing was I used to be involved with another online business, and I wasn't successful at it. So I had a lot of fear coming into this of, I'm just going to fail at another online business, and like, how is this going to be any different? And I think for me, it was seeing, I loved the other thing that I had, but I'm so passionate about this. And the fact that this gave real results that I could show people. And this isn't just like, buy this random thing that I'm selling, but I actually want to help you better yourself from the inside out. And that's what finally got me over that piece of like, I don't really care if you think I'm annoying on social media. I'm still going to offer this thing to you.
Totally. Oh, I love it. Oh my God. And it's like, it's the same thing, you guys, where, and I'll just interject on this really quick, like so many of us fear, or we put it in our head that if we coach or if we do this, like people are going to think we're annoying or that girl or whatever, or this or that and whatever, like whatever story it is, like monster that we create in our head. And what's so funny about it is it's like, first of all, I've done this 4.5 years. I can count on one hand how many times I've had, not even, probably like, it's so small how many people are like outright negative to you or say something. Like most people I know that have watched me do this now for 4.5 years, and I'm not saying it's just a longevity piece of time, right? Like I have so many people from high school, from college, from this stuff. I was like, God, that's so cool. I wish I would have started that when I was 24 as well. Or, it's so cool that by 30, what are you going to be able to create? And also, you guys, most people are too worried thinking about their own selves to even care about what other people are doing. And also it's like people's opinions don't pay. If someone doesn't, what's the quote? Like if they don't pay your bills and they don't like live in your house and like they can't have or live with your regrets. So it is, if you don't pay my bills and you don't live with my regrets, I don't care about your opinion. Like, but it's so true. It's like something a lot of us have had to overcome. Okay, let's go Kels and then Emily, and then I'll wrap it up of our apprehensions and fears before we started.
Yeah, so my biggest worry was what other people were going to think about me, which is probably most coaches' biggest worry. But that's kind of like how I lived a lot of my life. I would do things based off of what people are going to think about me, especially when it came to social media. Like I loved Instagram and all that, but I never really posted that much, and I knew all those like MLMs and all that stuff that was going on, and I was like, well, I don't want to be that girl. Everyone's gonna think of me differently. And so when my coach asked me if I wanted to coach, I like texted my boyfriend and my friends. I'm like, what do you guys think if I do this? Because I was so nervous, and they all like said, go for it, like do it. And that was one thing that was really nice, is to know like the people in your life that like really care about you and support you will support you in whatever you do. They can see like it has made such a big impact in my life, and So it's nice to know that like what other people think really doesn't matter, because the ones that you do care about like will support you.
I love it. Naomi's distracting all of us with her peekaboo.
Sorry.
Oh no, she's so cute. All right, Emily, as she's trying to wrangle in the 7-month-old or 8-month-old, what was your biggest worry?
My biggest worry was people not like taking me seriously. And I said this before, my best friend owns a gym right here in town, and my sister is a pro fitness bodybuilder, and all I thought was, geez, who's gonna think Emily can do this? Like, why are we gonna take her seriously? And then as I got more into it, I stopped caring because I knew it was working for me, and it was, like Kate said, something I wanted to share. Brianne said, something I wanted to share with everybody. So yeah, it was an apprehension, but I think it's a driving factor too. It makes me work harder to get results, so I can show people, yeah, this works, and yeah, I can do it too. And if I can do it, so can you.
Yeah, and if you can do it with 3 kids at under 4 years old as a stay-at-home mom. I love it so much. So my biggest apprehension was my big one was that I wasn't going to be fit enough or credible enough, because at the time, yes, I was running marathons. Like I said, like I, was an avid, like I worked out, but I felt like one of the first things I said to my coach was, I was like, well, I don't have a 6-pack. Like I thought I had to be like perfect. I thought I'd be perfectly fit to do this. And I really learned that, first of all, like I said, that's what gave me my best results, was being a coach, because I was so accountable. And now like, I'm so proud of my progress, like physically after 4 years, but also mentally. And then also time was a big worry that I had. I had those fleeting moments of like, what, but I'm also not someone who really cares that much what people think. But I was worried about time, because at the time I was a 3rd grade teacher. It was a brand new grade level. I had taught 6th grade the year before. So it felt like my first year of teaching all over again. And I was working at a super, super high need school that was very emotionally draining. I worked with a population of kids that had a very high percentage of just like homelessness and things like that, like things that were so big beyond my control. So I was a little bit worried that I would just like not have the mental capacity. But what I found was I was so excited to plug into this every single night. Like I was so excited to connect with the team online and connect with other people and kind of control the controllable, you guys. Like I couldn't control what was going on in my students' lives, and I couldn't control what the district told me to teach, or how to teach it, or when to teach it, or when to breathe, or Jesus, when to use the bathroom. Like really, as a teacher, like bathroom time used to be precious. Like, but I just found so much fulfillment in this. And for me, coaching has never been an I have to. It is always an I get to. And one thing I want to just speak on really quick, because this actually kind of leads into the next piece of this, is you guys right now, like a lot of people, and if you're watching this later on, have said that they're worried about working in a multi-level marketing or a network marketing or whatever it is you want to call it, right? Because they worry about the connotation with it. And here's the deal, is that we are getting real results. There is not one program or product or thing that we would ever recommend or provide to somebody that we have not done and used ourselves and loved and gotten amazing results from. There are certain programs I don't like. So if someone asks me about it, I tell them I don't like it. There are certain products that I'm like, not my favorite, but you could try it. Like we go with the honesty policy. And the reason that we are so passionate about it is because it's an amazing thing. We are literally helping people live a healthy lifestyle. It's not a wrap. It's not a pill. It is a true community and a true coach that really is here to help you. And so one thing I just want to say, you guys, is that in this type of situation where we are right now, and I'll use myself as an example, I am not worried about my piece of my business because I already created an online business and it is 2020. And it doesn't matter how big or how small you want to take coaching, whether you want it to be a viable, fun side hustle or you want it to be a 6-7 figure business. It can be that with consistency and hard work and diligence and skill and being coachable, but it's 2020. Like people should be trying to think of multiple streams of income, and network marketing you can do from the comfort of your home. And beyond that, Beachbody, you guys, is the most just from the top of the top to where we are as coaches leading these groups, it is just integrity, it's positivity, and it's everyone doing the programs, reading the personal development, like from our CEO to all of us who are CEOs of our own business. Like, it's truly incredible. And just to give a little perspective too, I got a statistic today that typically this day, last year, there was about 2,000 people that were enrolling with Beachbody On Demand. And yesterday there was 15,000 people who now, with this virus going around and people not being able to go to gyms, it's gone from 2,000 enrollments to 15,000 enrollments. And so we're obviously not going to capitalize on a tragedy of what's happening, but it is an opportunity, and it is a different way, you guys, to think about how do you get fit? How do you get healthy? How do you connect with other people? And how do you have a second stream of income for your family? And I'm here to tell you, it's okay to want to pay off your debt. It's okay to want to get your nails done. It's okay to want to pay for your child to be able to go to dance class. And you should be unapologetic about it. And if Karen from high school doesn't like your post, you can go delete Karen from Facebook off your Facebook, and she can stay in her sad corner of the internet and have fun over there. So I just want to kind of put that out there for you guys to think about too. And so with that as well, I kind of want to explain how the income piece of this works, because we talked about how the community has changed us and the programs, and we didn't even touch on the fact that we travel together often. Like, we just got back from a retreat in Disney World before all this kind of happened in February. And we have another big fun event all together in July. Hopefully we have one in April here with a live trainer coming. But now let's kind of answer that question of like, how do you make income from this? Because it kind of seems like I knew I had zero clue how it worked before I started. So when you sign up as a coach, you guys, the really cool thing is that you don't have to go buy like a bunch of products. You don't have to go buy a bunch of Shakeology or a bunch of Beach Bars or Energize or any of our other products. Your only enrollment is your own program. So for example, right now is the launch of our new program, 10 Rounds. It's a boxing program. I feel like a complete kids on here while doing it. It's so fun. So let's say, for example, you sign up with what's called a challenge pack. Those are typically about $160, but that's your product. That's your program. That's your year of Beachbody On Demand. That's your first 30 servings of Shakeology, all of it. And it's this team and it's your coach, right? And so then what happens is you guys are going to go authentically share your stories, and you're going to literally go pick up the phone and call your best friend or walk across the hallway to your coworker and ask them to come join you and be in this group. That's how lots of our first challenge groups and first coaches who joined our team started. And the first way that you can make income from this is just through straight up commissions. So if you get a customer, let's say her name is Jenna signs up with a challenge pack as a customer, you get 25% of any sale that you make. So any challenge pack, anything that a customer buys from you, you will get a 25% commission. And so I can't remember who was that said it, but they were like, my first goal was just to cover the cost of my Shakeology. Basically, you guys, like, the really cool thing about being a coach is when you sign up and you buy that challenge pack and you've started, there's no quotas. Like, you're not penalized, you're not in trouble, we're not mad at you. Like, you're still a part of the team if you don't. But a pretty solid benchmark that our team lives by is helping 3 people every month. Reason being is the way the commissions work, you'll cover the cost of your own product. So you can basically completely break even your first month. Lots of coaches on our team help many, many more people than that in a month. I know for myself, for the past 4 years, I've never not had a month of helping at least 5 people every month, because same thing, I was a teacher, I wanted that secondary income. So commissions are the first way. The second way that you can make income from this is through different rank advancements, which open up what's called the team cycle bonus. Basically, the team cycle bonus, you guys, is when you start to build a team. As you can see, we're a team here. And to create your own team and hit your first rank in our company, people literally do it within like an hour. Like, I'm not even kidding. You can go find 2 people who want to join. Maybe they're just someone who wants the discount, because as a coach, you get a 25% discount on everything, which is amazing, especially Energize when we're all at home together. Like, I'm sure Emily took like 4 shots today because of having 3 children. Like, but you open up the team cycle bonus. And basically what that means is when your team accrues volume, so when other people are purchasing their challenge packs, like I said, we just had 15,000 people get Beachbody On Demand, you create volume within your team and you get a $14 cycle bonus when those buckets are balanced at 300. So that's the way that you guys can make the residual income from this, is long-term building a team. Having those people that follow you on Instagram for a year and you're like, oh my God, she would be the best coach. Like, or this girl, like, oh my God, I you know, she seems kind of timid, but now here she is building a team, you guys, and it's amazing. And you get paid through these team cycle bonuses at some different ranks. So Emerald, Ruby, and Diamond. The third way that you can make income through this is through the Star Diamond bonuses. And that is for a few different ranks with our company. And basically you get a quarterly bonus for holding your rank for 6 weeks. So that's the way that the income works. And so we're going to kind of loop around really quick how the income piece of this has impacted our lives. And a same thing, you guys, like, I know if you're watching this, you might be like, oh my God, we're going to talk about this. But like we said, it's okay to want to pay your bills. It's okay to want to put gas in your car. And it's okay if your financial goals are tiny when you start. So let's go Grace, Emily, and then I'm actually going to be in the middle of this one. So let's go Grace, Emily, and then I'll share.
Sure. So at the beginning, it was literally just to cover the cost of what I was using. And then also I'm a big fan, well, my nails look ratchet right now, but I'm a big fan of a dip manicure. So I wanted to be able, and my goal still is, I mean, minimum is that I want to be able to, whenever I want, walk into the nail salon and say, hi, I'd like a dip manicure, please. Mm-hmm. And so in San Diego, that's about $45 a month plus the cost of my Shakeology, just for some context. My long-term goals are to, and I still get like kind of not even nervous, but like there's like, it's a really big thing. So my long-term goal is to pay cash on a vacation home in Bath, England, and go there for Christmas. Which
I'm coming.
It is like I'm such a dork, but my favorite movie of all time is The Holiday. Will spent his study abroad in Bath. It's the cutest little town, and it's so, and houses there usually run US dollars about $650,000. So my goal, obviously we'd be going on it together. So my goal is to be able to pay cash for my half of that house.
I love that. It's
like,
so
who knows
specific.
when it'll happen, but that's
I'm like sweating thinking about it. I'm excited for you.
Oh, there's gonna be a fireplace and lots of stockings. I'm pumped.
Oh my God, can't wait. Oh, I'm so excited. I get so excited about other people's dreams. Okay, Emily, how has the income piece impacted your family?
Well, as a stay-at-home mom, I contribute to my family through watching our kids and saving us money by not putting them in daycare. And this has just helped me contribute to our family financially. And at first it was, just to cover the cost of my Shakeology. And sorry.
I love her.
Kate loves you. Okay, so it was first to cover the cost of my Shakeology, and then my husband started, so it also covers kids now too. And then I want to be able to, enroll the girls in any activity that they want and not have to worry about it. And we're entrepreneurs, we're self-employed, so we have private insurance for myself and the girls. And I just wanted it to be able to be something that can cover that too and not have to worry like, is that going to be all right this month? And I mean, it always is, but you just never know. Yeah, so
I love that.
For me. And then one thing also, I've had this baby carrier in my Amazon cart for like a couple of months, and I told Luke like the first month that I break even and I make enough to buy it, I'm buying it. And that was this month. So I got it on Saturday, and we took it for a run, or I didn't run. We took it for a test drive, and it's amazing. I love it.
Oh, that makes me literally want to cry. I love that so much. Oh, Emily, that's so cool. You guys, Emily has gotten crazy, awesome results with this too, physically. Okay, so for myself, my first financial goal with this, like I said, was I did the math in my head. And I was like, okay, if I can help 5 people every month, I'll cover the cost of my Shakeology, and then a little bit aside to get my nails done or go out and then put it into savings. And one of my first big financial goals was I really, really, really needed a new laptop. My old laptop is this like really old Dell computer with like an orange, like reddish, like the colored screens. And literally I would have to like jiggle the cord so hard to get it to charge. And that was my big first goals. And honestly, you guys, like right away, you will make pennies for the time that you put into this. Like we are super blunt with that. And that's why when people are like, oh, pyramid scheme, network marketing, it's like, no, you're not going to make $1,000 tomorrow. Like you're not like, and if you want to tell me that it's that, like you're going to put in a lot more time at first. The least lucrative time financially is the beginning, but your mindset and your body changing and the friendships and the community, that's like exponential, right? And so for myself, you know, those first few paychecks were $40, $50, $100 a week, and they slowly were adding up over time. And I was consistent as heck. Like I've never not run a challenge group and all of that. And about 2 years into coaching very consistently, you know, rank advancing, building my team, inviting to coaching, things like that. I started to surpass my teaching salary here in Minneapolis. And at that time, I was really seriously, strongly considering being a full-time coach. And when I walked away the next year from teaching, I had a 6-figure business, and I've had that for the past 2 years, and it's growing. And like I said, at 28 years old, you guys, like nothing's guaranteed. Nothing happens without like diligence, skill, hard work, being coachable, showing up, being consistent. But like I said, you know, Zach and I even had a talk the other night about everything going on in the world, and it was such a peace of mind to be able to be like, okay, we're okay. Like we're going to be okay. And to be able to just create that over time, you guys, like when you really think about it, and I've done this for 4.5 years, and to be able to have a 6-figure business in 4.5 years is pretty crazy cool. And I am nothing special. I am just extremely consistent. And so I want that for everyone here too. Like hearing those goals of what other people are doing with this financially is so inspiring to me. So that's a little bit about mine. And then let's go Kelsey, Andrea, and Brianne. How has the income piece impacted you?
Okay. Actually, to touch on a point you just talked about, when I first signed up, I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to make all this money just doing what I'm doing. But it actually took a lot of work. It took a while before I actually saw any sort of added income, because it's a job. You have to actually do the work to get the money from it. So it wasn't until like 6 months ago where I saw like some income starting to come, because it takes work. You can't just like post on social media and get money from it.
No.
But for me, so I am actually a manufacturing engineer full time. So that is my job, and I have a decent income. But to get there, I had a lot of student debt. So now that I have like started to put more work into my coaching, I've had a little bit of extra money to put towards my debt each month, which has been really nice because I still have to pay all my bills. And so having this extra money to put towards my debt will help me get out of it faster. So that's quick and easy.
That's huge, Kelsey. And that's what so many people like. I know so many coaches who use it that way too. That's impactful. That's really cool. All right, Miss Andrea.
Sorry, I'm muted. Okay. Yeah, very similar to Kelsey. So, well, I started out like, well, you know, if I can get my Shakeology and products paid for, like that'd be great. I'm good for that. But it's been as of recent, you know, taking it more seriously, where I've really started to see, you know, the consistency now is starting to come in more. But you know, had some unexpected news this year where at the new year we are expecting a baby girl in August. So that has a way of shifting some priorities around. And my debt, freedom from debt has always been, okay, a goal. But there's something about having this big, you know, bundle coming, and it's like, okay, I need to get my shit together. So doing Dave Ramsey, and, you know, getting your step one, I was able to generate in a couple of months, you know, that 1,000 kind of nugget. And then today, actually, it hit me because I had to take Reba, my dog, in for her checkup, and we skipped a year, and she's got some issues that we have to take care of. And I mean, not like life-threatening, but an unexpected financial that otherwise would have really thrown me. But having that nugget, like literally, like I was able to pull from that, and I wouldn't have had that without coaching. So it was that first time where I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, but
It's huge. Oh, little Reba
yeah.
and little baby. I love it. Layla, here we go.
Yeah.
Mama Andrea, here she comes.
Ugh.
I'm excited for you.
Oh, there we go. So same thing everyone else has talked about, just wanting to pay for the shakes, to pay for the product that I know I'm going to use every single day. Another thing that was kind of a big deal for me, which I posted about a little while ago, is I really like to be blonde. I love being blonde. My soul is blonde, but my roots are not blonde. So there's that for the whole world. And it was so, like, I'm always going to pay to be blonde. It does not matter if I have extra income. But it was so nice the last time I went in, just knowing, like, we're good. Like, I can pay to have blonde hair on top of having my shake every morning. And I'm still very much in the pennies phase of this whole thing. But just having that little bit of extra of, like, I can go and do something fun for myself and not worry if my teacher salary is going to take care of it. And that's been a huge blessing for me.
Yeah. Oh, girl, getting your hair done? Heck yeah. Well, and what's so cool is, did Grace, did you share yet about income? How it's impacted you? Okay, sorry, I forgot if I went around the horn. Is one thing I want you guys to realize again is it's consistency, it's time, it's the compound effect. So as far as the income piece of this goes, like when I hear these coaches, like some of them have only been coaches for a few months, some have been a year, and then I kind of had this 4-year mark. Like when you look at where we are at these different levels, it's like where they are right now is where I started this. And what's really cool is I know coaches in this business that have been here for 10 years. And when I talk to them at events and they're like, oh, well, where you are right now, and then where they are, it's just incredible to see what consistency over time and doing this can really do. So with that, you guys, it's the same thing with our dreams. Okay. So when I first started this, my initial dream with coaching was to like have a challenge group with people in it and to be accountable. Like, honestly, I think my first dream was to get abs, which is like so shallow, but that's what I wanted. It's like, I just like wanted, like, I didn't really know, but I knew that it set a fire in my heart. And I knew that every week when I connected with our, our coaches, we have like a weekly podcast, and I listened to it and I heard these inspiring stories that I wanted more. And as I kept showing up and as I kept doing what you guys, honestly, I did every single thing my coach told me to do. If she told me to post on social media, I did it. If she taught me how to invite people to this in a classy way, I did it. If they told me to do a new program, I did it because I was just following the clues of other people who were building these cool dreams and these cool successes. And eventually my brain did switch and started to really think, what if I didn't have to feel? I realized that I was feeling trapped in these 4 walls in my classroom. And my dreams started to grow. And that's what's going to happen to you when you say yes to this too. And so really quick, we're going to go around and share, what is it of a bigger dream that you have with coaching, of something that you really like, where do you want to take this someday? And I know a lot of us have a lot of dreams, but just pick one for time's sake. And we're going to go around and share one dream that we kind of want to use coaching as the vessel to get there. And then we'll wrap this up. So let's go, Emily, Grace, Kelsey. Emily, what's one of your bigger dreams with coaching someday from this?
Okay. My bigger dream is for this to make a larger impact, like on our financial situation, because our business depends a lot on like the economy. Like we're gonna have to shut our 2 stores down right now because of the virus. So I mean, we're gonna be fine, but I just want to have that chunk to help contribute. And I just, I want to grow my team and to have it be a team of women and moms who know that, they can do more. They're worth more than they think, and just to give them the inspiration to, I don't know, just to do something more. And I don't know if that explains it. Sorry.
I think that's amazing. I love that so much, Emily.
I must be busy now.
Okay, I forgot who I said was next.
I think me.
Okay, go.
So I kind of talked a little bit about it. The dream is like the vacation home in England, whatever. But in a much more, I don't want to say practical, but kind of day-to-day thing. So my dad works in finance. He was lucky enough that he got really good at his job and built a nest egg that allowed him. So he took me to the closing on his house because he was like, oh, you're getting older. You need to go to one of these and see how they work. And I was like, okay, Dad, I'm going to sit there on my phone the whole time, but sure. And before we went, I watched him walk into the bank, get a cashier's check for the price of the house, and then go to the closing and pay for that house in cash. And first of all, I was like, Dad, this is not how everybody does this. So I'm not sure what you were trying to get me to see here. But on a much deeper level, I thought that was so bad. To be able to just walk into a bank and be like, yeah, I'm just going to pay for a house today. And so having that, I probably won't take this full time. I have a corporate job. I work in data analytics. I love my job. I love what we do. We work in healthcare. So it's, really hitting the fan right now. But just to have that kind of freedom to say yep, it's a Tuesday. I feel like buying a house today. Not to say that I would buy the house, but to have that freedom is really, really attractive and motivating for me. The other part of it, kind of what Emily was touching on. So I'm an Enneagram 2. I'm a helper and an advocate. And so to watch my challengers, who are literally all of my good friends or coworkers, go 5 for 5 and do all 5 workouts on their program this week, even though they're working from home with their kids, or having them, sign up a new challenger and then they cover the cost of their trip. All of seeing that spark in them, oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. And so being able to kind of advocate for all of these people that I know, that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be difficult. And we're so good at making it difficult, but it doesn't have to be.
Totally.
And so getting to see them that click in their brain will just always motivate the heck out of me.
I love that. Oh, I love it so much. Thanks, Grace.
All right, me?
Yeah.
So I actually have 2. I'll be quick. But so my first one is to be debt-free. That's just one of my huge goals right now, because I just graduated college and then now I have to start paying for all this loans, and I'm like, what? Where did this all come from? That's I want to be able to just live my life how I want to live it and not have to worry about money. Growing up, money was always a huge stress for our family, and so to be able to just go on vacation or buy the things I want to buy or eat the really nice expensive food or whatever it is, I want that freedom. And then my second thing is so I grew up playing sports and I loved being part of a team, and so with coaching, one of my biggest goals right now is to build my team and have that team feeling again, and have girls to share fitness with, and everything outside of fitness too, and just something that's my own team too, because I yes, I'm part of this big team right now, but I want to be a leader for my team and have girls to kind of push towards their goals and work together and all that. So yeah.
I love that. That's so special, Kels. Brianne, how about you?
So my biggest goal is to take this full time. My goal is to be Kate someday. That's the goal. I love teaching. I love my students. I believe that I was made to be a teacher. But more than I want to teach, I want to be a mom and I want to raise my babies. And we are a ways away from that. But just to be able to have the means to do that, to be able to still contribute financially to our family and feel good. Like what Em was saying about, like, I want my kids to play sports and do whatever activities they want to do, and I want to be here with them doing it. So yeah, that's a big goal.
I love that. I love it so much. I guess my big dream with this is to help other people live a life of freedom. And that's really what I've gotten from this in 4.5 years is, for me, time freedom is huge, and financial freedom and being able to mentor other people to be able to have that, you guys, is so big. And if you had told me 5 years ago before I started this that someday I would not be a teacher, I would have laughed in your face. It was all I ever wanted, ever wanted. And I think that that's something really powerful with this too, is that that was one thing that I wanted my whole life. But now I have so many concrete dreams. And every single morning when I wake up, I have a vision for my future that I write down. And it's several pages long, and it's literally, I read it every morning when I come into my office. And to go from one singular dream of, I want to be a teacher. Okay, I want to be a mom. To like, and not that those things are like trivial. Like I loved it. And someday I'll be a mom too. But it's like to go from one dream to a whole book full of what the possibility is, and the freedom, like I said, of financial freedom and time freedom. Like I cannot even tell you guys what it's the best feeling to just be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want to do it, with whomever it is that you want to do it with. And same thing, like, I just am such a believer that life is way too short. Like, I think we're kind of all seeing that right now. And I know the girls on the team have really heard me share about this before, but I've had a few people in my lifetime that have just left this earth far too soon for they've died out of nowhere, right? And so for me, it's really shaped how I live, of like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to have to wait to take the trip with my husband, or I don't want to have to wait to, pay that bill, or decline, wait for this. And it's just like, it's so possible, you guys. And we are nothing special on this team of anyone who's better or prettier or smarter or anything. And we are like, I cannot tell you guys how much these women get me through day to day. I know, like, our community has been blowing up in our Facebook group and our chats, and we've been having little daily work sessions every day. Now that, like, we're all working from home, we've had like virtual work sessions. Like, you can't put a price on it. And I know we have a lot of financial dreams and goals too, but just know that whatever dream is maybe stirring on your heart as you're listening to this, it's possible with consistency and time. And so with that, you guys, we just are going to wrap this up. And thank you so much for being here tonight. I know there's a lot of crazy-ish going on in the world, but we appreciate you watching this and being a part of it. And so next steps after this are, obviously, watch this. I know people will be watching the recording as well, but when you're done, if someone sent you the link, shoot them a message like when you're done watching it, and follow up with them and come be a part of our team. And how this works is, if you're not already in a challenge group, or if you're not already enrolled, because some people sign up as a coach for the discount purely, we'll get you enrolled, we'll get you a package, you'll get welcomed into our private team page where we have lots of mentorship. We teach you guys the things like, how do I post on social media without being annoying? Like, how do I overcome limiting beliefs? How do I talk to people about this? How do I explain the price? How do I ask somebody to come coach with me? And hint, you just go, hi, I have no clue what I'm doing, but this is really fun. Like, that's all you do. And we'll walk you guys through it. And you'll just be a part of the Hustle with Heart family. We're a crazy, fun bunch of high performers, and we're across the country. Like, we are all across the country right now. And like I said, we travel together and meet up, and really you'll just get welcomed with very positive, open arms, and we'll be there ready to just hustle with you and lead with heart and passion and really serve people, because there is a need for it right now. And if there's one thing I'll say to you guys, it's that there's a lot of darkness in this world, and we can contribute to it, and we can play into it, or we can be the people who are well informed and know what's going on in the world, but then also show up to really make people happier and healthier. And that's all that a coach does, is you get to go be yourself. And at the very least, you will get in the best shape of your life. Like, honestly, like, that's the worst. If that's the worst thing that can happen to you, you're going to be okay. So you guys, thank you so much for being here.